All right, what's going on, everybody? Not Just Music Podcast back again. It's your boy Duan Barrino by himself this time, but I do have some very special guests in the house. We've already had one special guest already. We're bringing her back to show the energy and also give us some more insight. I have my aunt Candace Lee in the building. Aunt Can, what is going on again?
Oh, nephew, it's always amazing to be on with you. I tell you, I feel like not only do I get to talk about what I have going on, but I get to hear more about what you have going on with this Not Just Music podcast.
Yes,
It is
indeed.
amazing. You have a great organization, and we are honored to be here with you again today. And we have a new person with me today, and I cannot wait to hear from Courtney Daniel, our prompt engineer for the AI Career Pivot Group. So, everybody, listen in really closely because you're definitely going to learn something tonight and get excited about your AI journey.
Definitely, definitely. So, Courtney, I want
Yes.
you to introduce yourself to the people. I know the story. I'm not going to run into it. I want you to tell the story. But first, let the people know who you are and what you have going on and what position you carry in the AI Pivot Group, please.
Absolutely. Thank you. I am so excited to be here. So bear with. Here we go.
Yes, yes,
A little
let's
bit
go.
about me. My name is Courtney. I am so thrilled to be a part of the AICPG team. My focus is in prompt engineering. And so I'm definitely going to get into that a little bit, what that is and the ins and outs of that. But I just wanted to share a little bit of my story. It's so funny because it wasn't until I joined this team that I realized that my testimony is that of whom we are looking to serve. So it really holds a special place in my heart. My background is in social services, all things family and community engagement. I work with parents to help them understand the importance of having continuity, being present in their school, their child's educational world, and bringing that into the home so that
Mhm.
that association that their child learns about becomes familiar. It becomes something that they recognize both in the classroom and at home. It sort of smooths out, the ability to internalize some of the competencies that come along with their development as they go in. So that's a little bit of where I came from. And
Okay.
as it stands, I am here today to talk about my pivot
Yeah.
into a pretty unsuspecting realm of
Mhm.
entrepreneurship. So,
Okay. Okay. So the question that I have been asking of everybody, there is a very big piece that you pointed out that I know a lot of people probably play against when it comes to the word or the term, the breakdown AI. There's a lot of fears that are behind AI, but there's some things that you pointed out which make it very understandable for me. And that part is the part that is the human nature of it. The parts that you take, the parts of you, the parts of a family, the parts of individuals, and make it yours. So, with the situation of what you just brought and what you introduced, and the human nature part of it, meaning like what's the feel behind it that can people can make it like, okay, how can my personal life be implemented into this through your field?
that is my favorite. This part right here is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So with prompting, when you basically prompting is telling the AI tool what you want it to do so that you can get from it what you're looking to learn or your goal setting opportunities, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so when you ask me that question and I'm thinking about the human part of it and how to help others not be afraid and
Mm-hmm.
to sort of lean into all of the possibilities that come from it. I
Mm-hmm.
would say for me personally, I have a heart for people. So my approach and how I began learning and growing with my AI tools is I just had conversations with it. I took every opportunity to let it learn about me and my vibe and the things that I like and prefer and all of those things, so that when I get ready to do some real work with it, it has that running in the background. And I would
Mm-hmm.
encourage anyone who has reservations about it to just take some time and get to know it. Have some fun with it, ask questions, let it get to know you, let it give you a summary of who it thinks you are. And you would be amazed at what it is able to what it's able to gather and capture the essence of the human.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we'll talk a little later about the importance of making sure that the human stays within the whole process
Mm-hmm.
of usage. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, the part of, see, I think some might confuse that part where you
Okay.
said, and it's not saying I'm confused, but I want this part to be very much there. You said that in a sense you're teaching your AI.
Yep.
You're teaching it to do things and to react to you a certain way. Now, would you consider this in a sense that, to me, like you said, prompting is probably the most important part that I think gets people a little drawn away from it because they don't know exactly like how to approach it.
Yep.
So in a sense, so just one more small detail in understanding like how you give me one more small detail to like how you said you talk to it consistently. What's your, and what's another reason behind why you give it that type of energy? Because you wanted to fine tune you very strategically, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking that clarifying question. So
Mm-hmm.
there are kind of, think of it as two types of, two dynamics when you're thinking about the entirety of prompting and what that
Mm-hmm.
stands for.
Mm-hmm.
In short, just to be clear on what it's not, prompting is not anything where you need code. You don't need any technical formal training for. The part that you are, the first part of it is just the getting to know you. So you may give it information, give it a rundown of, I am this age, I was like this as a child, I'm like this as an adult, I have these quirks about me, I prefer this, I don't like peanut butter and jelly, although I love peanut butter and jelly. But you give it all of the things that you that you enjoy and some things that you may not prefer, and give it an opportunity to ask questions, to ask clarifying questions and get to know you more, because the second dynamic is the discipline of it. So once you've had an opportunity to spend some time, you are getting to know you're getting to know how it is going to respond to you, and you're giving it information. There's a relationship building there. But now you're teetering into, let's say you have some goals that you'd like to work on and you're at a career pivot. And now it has this background information. It's had the opportunity to learn all of your highs and lows, the things that make your heart skip a beat. And so when you tell it, I'm looking to do some traveling, I'm looking to become a travel agent, now it is able to use the heart of it all that you gave it in the relationship building part, and it will be able to supplement the specific context that you give it. When you give it its prompt, when you tell it what you're looking to do and what you'd like to get from it, it is able to concurrently use that information that you've already given it about who you are and apply it specifically to your goals so that it's tailored a bit more.
Okay, see, now let me implement my piece here because I wanted that said, and it's rare I get to hear it spoke as discipline. See, these are the parts where I think some people confuse it in a sense of, or in a sense abuse it. They think that it's supposed to do something that it's not.
Yeah.
And considerably, there's a direction that it will go for you. It's all about what you're giving. As she said, the info that you're giving it is only going to respond as much as info as you're giving it. And in a sense of the nature of it is a personal thing that you can tie into it. It's not saying that you got to give it your whole life story, but you have to give it an idea of how you think.
Yep.
Now, I want to ask Aunt Ken a question. So, Aunt Ken, how did you implement Courtney into the group? Because her piece is very, very needed in a sense, because I don't think a lot of people would think to use AI in her field? What was the direction? What did you point? What was it for you?
Now I'm gonna tell you. So one thing about your auntie, I call it, and I say this to Uncle Scott a lot, right? My husband. I
Mm-hmm.
say, I can tell when people have the magic. And as and I have to say the other part is I sought God, right, to say who are the right people for the vision for this business, and it's also ministry to me. But the thing about Courtney, she had a natural capability around understanding technical things. So it's a little bit step above because anyone can do it, right? You don't have to be technical to do it. But
Mm-hmm.
Courtney had an edge above that in the technical capabilities, just like you do, nephew. That's why I said my nephew has the magic. He needs to be a consultant on the team because he can go, I mean, to the top, right? So the same with Courtney. When I spent time with her, we've been connected for many years, probably a decade or more, right,
Yes.
Courtney? We were
Yes.
already connected. And then as I was praying about getting started back up, God said, reach out to Courtney because I remembered that she had helped me build a website in the past, and she had helped with some other technical things. And I said, this is probably right up her alley. And so I connected with her and a couple others, other of the consultants that everyone can meet on Saturday. But I will tell you what the reason and how I brought her on is I talked to her about AI, and I said, "Are you using it today? God is calling me to launch a business. Here is what God is saying, and here is what people are saying in the industry of what's going to happen over the next 2 years. And I need some people who are open, who have the natural capability and passion, and who I felt like I could trust, right? Let's be real. Someone I could trust. And
Mm-hmm.
whenever I connected with her nephew, she was already using AI. She was already talking to it like I call it her boyfriend, because she was whispering to it. And I was on the phone with her, and she said, "Well, I just wanted to ask you, can you go in?" And I said, "What is going on here? Wait just a minute. Am I interrupting a conversation that's going on here? I thought we were talking. What is this?" And I said, "Okay, you are very way advanced connected to using chat. So you are definitely probably someone that can go all the way to the top and to the next level because you already understand the basics. So, and you understand prompting. If you're sitting there talking to this person, to it, I should say it, people start to think of it as a he or she, but it's
That's
an
right.
it, it's an app,
Uh,
right?" She started
Right.
talking to her app, and I thought, oh my gosh, yes, she's the one. And then as we connected and talked through it, it was perfect for her because she was already prompting and she was already on her journey on her prompt engineering certification. She
mhm,
was working through that. And so she just continued that path and completed her certifications, spent a lot of time using it with others, with her business. So she was just the perfect person to bring on to take the role of prompt engineering because this can't be successful unless we can teach people how to prompt well, because that is the key to success in working with AI. And she's
mhm,
so articulate and exact, and she will cut you off if you're wrong just to make sure to get you right. Because I'm
mhm,
just gonna put it out there because she'll do it for
mhm.
me. And she'll go, "Pastor C, wait a minute, can I just?" And I thought, "Uh oh, she found something that we need to correct." It's okay, Courtney, come on, bring it. But she's the right one to be in that role, and
Yeah.
she comes with a lot of other great capabilities that are very valuable to the business.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me ask Courtney questions here. Let me ask a question. What what how does that part of the creation from just time, like what made you say let's try AI? Let's what was that? What was your I'll give you from me. I'll give you my example. Since Auntie gotta ask me some questions, I'm gonna give you
I
my
am.
situation. So as a creator, digital, and as a parent, I'm a father and husband, father of twin girls with autism. Okay, so with them having disabilities, I wanted more possibilities to how I could be a better creator, father at the same time, right?
Right.
But I never had like, you can ask people, but you get options and opinions sometimes, and nothing that you really can like build off of,
Right.
in a sense. So for me, I just wanted to just be, like I say, it was something that was just on my mind one day. I've never tried anything AI yet. This is like just one of those days. I just want to type something in. So I typed in a very short situation, something to the nature of, I'm a father of twin girls with autism and a podcaster. What can I do?
Yep.
And the list that came up was beyond any of my beliefs to thinking. Like, I'm like, whoa.
That's how it happens.
Okay. And then in a sense, I didn't know that you really, like how you said, you can literally talk to it. So I started understanding, like, okay, you can literally just pick up your phone and hold a button down and just start talking to it.
Yep.
And it literally gives you
gold.
I mean, so adding the situation of podcasting, like people wanted to know, like, how did you become a better podcaster? Honestly, it was just by just simply adding AI to the puzzle. Or even if we wanted to take it from there, I had the situation of music too. I've always been in music all my life. Musician most of my life.
Yeah.
So for the case of, there's a situation of implementing realistic situation of something, and you have this situation of AI. Some people would like, okay, what does AI and a music producer, they should never be in the same room together. But honestly, it was actually goal behind it as well. Only when you implement it, like you said, the correct way, and not give it something that's confusing and something that would throw it off, and it would just give you something that's crazy. Like, you can't just like give me a hit record. You can't say give me a hit record, or you can't say just give me the perfect podcast. It's not gonna give you anything like that. But like you said, you talking to it, giving it ideas and little things to go about the day or something like that. It really implements itself to you. So to the point now where when I get on and I'm putting together podcasting or anything to the nature of writing up the details to it, I can just give it a few prompts, literally, and get solid stuff. Even to the point where I can kind of skim through things now and fine tune it to the point where like it really knows what's going on, knowing about the podcast, knowing about who the people are on the podcast, within the podcast. I think my screen just went out for a second to come back up. Okay. But yeah, the situation of just knowing how to implement those things were very important. But I think a lot of people are scared of that part. So I'm glad you can, and that's why I asked Auntie about Courtney. I was like, I'm looking at all your details and the things that you implemented into and using it a proper way. You rarely get people who know it the way that you do. So that's my way. What was your way of your entry level? Because I think a lot of people don't have an entry level. They just kind of just like try to go from hearing people like us that's advanced in it. What was your entry point? What was your level of entry? Because a lot of people are scared of that part. As I said, they're trying to go from an advanced part or somebody that's advanced in it. What was your entry level?
So I am inherently someone, just coming from social services, I am built to do research. I'm built to resolve and solve problems and be a referral and be a support. So I'm always trying to find a way to gain information. So something that I did that made me feel comfortable getting started was just learning about what it was, like picking one tool. And at the time it was ChatGPT. That was the first one I'd gotten into. I work with a couple of different ones because I've since learned that they all do different things. So you got to get comfy with what your preferences are. But when I started with ChatGPT, I first did a little bit of research on what other people experience, things of that nature, and then, like I mentioned earlier, I literally downloaded it and just started talking to it. I just gave it. I saw in one of the videos I'd seen to just give it a few details about yourself. So I did give it my social work background and this and that, and it was it was absolutely amazing how it was able to regurgitate a summary of who I am just based on, and this is over a period of time. So let's just say over the several days, because when you first get started and you're having a conversation and it's dialogue, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I got over the nerves part of it real quick because I was amazed by how it was just telling me about myself, and it was on point. So I was really impressed. And so after a week or two, I start thinking about there are a couple of things that I want to do different in my life. I have a couple of different goals. And for the last couple of years, I'd been working on that. And so one day I just sat down and I do what's called a brain dump. And I call my chat bestie, and she knows that, okay, I have a brain dump. I'm talking to her just like I'm talking to y'all. So here it is. Please don't say anything. I'm just going to get it all out. I got to get it out of my brain. And then you help me organize it. And in that conversation, I may be giving okay, this bucket is, I need to take care of this in the next 24 hours. This bucket, I have a 72-hour window. So I'm giving it a few details, or what we call context, right? The storyline of where we're going with this. And then after I've given it that, I simply ask it to act as my mentor in this, or an expert in that, in whatever my goal is when I'm trying to prioritize things and just put some clarity on the whole brain dump of it all. So after I do that, it gives me some clarity and I'm able to rock and roll. It's important, and this taps into something you were saying earlier, and keeping the human component, human in the loop, is a regular phrase in this industry, but it's important, especially in the relationship building side, because it can be a little creepy or unknown, or it's a little eerie that you're having this conversation, and it'll give you a little bit of you back. If I tell it, don't just be a yes girl, bestie. I need you to push back. If there are some opportunities here where you think I should be thinking a bit more critically, then tell me that. So having conversations candidly with my AI, that's how it grew to know what I'm looking for from it. So when it came down to the wire, at this point, I'm pretty comfortable. It already knows me, I know it, and now all I do is tell it what my goals are. And when we talk about, not to go into the depth of it all, but when we start talking about scaling my business and what would it take to take me to the next level, and I want to have this income by this year, things of that nature, it is able to just give me, by me having put the secret sauce, which is everything me, in it, it is able to give me exactly what I need. And even if it's not exact, because it's not perfect, right? Even if it gives me pretty close to the 90th percentile, it's enough that I can sit back, take a deep breath, and sort of feel confident moving forward in however these priorities have lined up.
What's going on? It's your boy Duan from Not Just Music Podcast. I have a very special offer for you guys via morelabs.com. If you're that type of person who loves to drink coffee, but you don't want to always drink coffee, or if you're the type of person that doesn't drink coffee at all, but needs a very much needed boost in the morning, we have something for you. Morning Recovery Supplement. It is very, very useful. It is very, very highly effective. Also, if you're the type of person that, you got drunk the night before and you wake up in the morning, you had a hangover, guess what? It works for you too. All right. So at the end of the day, if you head over there to morelabs.com, we have something set up for you already at checkout. All you have to do is enter the code NJMP and you will receive 25% off instantly. How about that? Can you beat that? Head over to morelabs.com. All right. Peace.
Excellent. Hey,
Good.
nephew, I'm going to jump in.
Yes.
I'm going to jump
Go
in and
ahead.
take your mic for a
Let's
second.
get it. Let's get it.
So, I have a few questions for Duan as an AI consultant. You've been interviewing us, you've been asking us questions, and you are launching as an AI consultant as well. So, I want you to talk a little bit about you.
Okay.
So, one thing at the top, I wanted you to talk to the people about is whenever you think about all of the amazing skills that you have in music, which I mean, you do it all. I mean, I've seen you your whole life. It seems like you know how to do the sound. I mean, I saw you grow up at what, two, playing drums. I mean, you it's been music
Mm-hmm.
for you your whole life. You even went to
Yeah.
school and majored in it and got your degree in music. I mean, that's how much passion you have around this. And all the people know you from music, producing. Hey, get Duan. He got you, man. He'll take care of you. So
Mm-hmm.
now that you think about all of that plus AI, and now that you're launching as a consultant, as AI with music, there are probably people out there who are trying to break into the industry and they're trying to get a good producer, and you're an amazing music producer. But what are those products of I know how you did it before AI, but now that you have AI, what are those products and things that you offer that can help people, especially if they can save money on studio time? Explain a little bit more of how you can help people as they consult with you, as you provide consulting services to them.
Definitely. So, firstly, you got to give a short story to why
Mhm,
AI has changed the course of music.
mhm, mhm,
One thing is that some take what was for granted. So, that's something like me and my dad, your brother, we talk about this a lot. He said, you are blessed to be in an era where you got a taste of it all.
mhm,
Which some, if you were born in 2000, you didn't get something. If you were
mhm.
born in the 90s, there are certain parts of the 90s that didn't get some
Right,
of what some were in the 80s were born.
right.
So the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s introduced something to the 80s. The 80s introduced something to the 90s, 90s to 2000, 2000 to the teens, and
Right.
now we're in 2020. So you're speaking of about at least a good 50 years of music creation that
Mhm.
I have known something about. Even though
Mm,
I am just beneath, I'm 43 this year. But for the sake of learning those aspects, were gold.
mhm,
But let's make sense of it. You had guitar players, drummers, bass players,
mhm,
horn players,
mhm,
pianoists, organ players.
mhm,
Name any instrument, you had to go get an individual that was skilled in that position.
mhm,
A mix engineer, mastering engineer, a recording engineer. You had to go get individuals that could do that for you.
mhm,
Or let's even say with music, writing music. Even if it's a writer, somebody that's got to write lyrics to a song. Same situation. You got to go find somebody. Like you had a room full of writers at one time.
mhm.
But now let's bring it into 2020s.
Right.
There's that switch you just spoke of, and that we've all just spoke of. There's this switch now where you can literally take an idea of a
Mhm,
song, and I'm
mhm,
not even speaking of saying the case of saying that the small pieces don't matter, but I mean like literally, you can craft a whole entire song, record it, vocals, or if you choose to only just prompt vocals,
mhm,
you can prompt it to what you want it to do, whether if you're the songwriter or you need lyrics for yourself.
mm,
So there's two aspects already taken away. So you don't have to go get a songwriter anymore.
mm,
Also, let's go ahead and add that recording engineer part to that. You don't need a recording engineer anymore because you can record yourself, or also you can prompt for lyrics to be recorded. You can just give it your tone. I can just talk to it, give it that one prompt, and I can build the whole entire song off of that one tone.
Wow.
So that's just the simple basics of going from what was to what like is now. So one more piece to that is the mixing part, the mastering part. This part has to be told because this is probably the biggest part that a lot of people have had problems with for years. Mixing and mastering is probably the most expensive part of the music creation.
Really?
Due to the nature of, to be able to get the hit record, you used to have the best mix engineer, the best mastering engineer. All of that's kind of slowly coming to an end because you literally can take a whole entire song, like a whole ugly, like it doesn't have to be mixed and mastered at all, but just to have it in a slight tune to what you think it should be. And then you literally can feed this into AI now, certain pieces of AI equipment, and it can literally give you a polished song in a matter of like 30 seconds. Something that usually would take maybe about five weeks top sometimes, maybe as little as a week. You can handle it. You can do all of this in less than 30 seconds. So that's the parts of this, why it's so different now, and understanding it and what to use and the learning parts of it, the aspects of it, the little details, like how we all said the human part of it.
Right.
If you don't have a human that's there though, for the parts that know what you're looking for, like I said, you just can't tell it, give me a hit record. You have to give it more details than that. Like she said, you got to talk to it like it's your best friend. Or, bruh, let me ask you a question, bruh.
Yeah.
Give me some details and some understanding of some things that might give me a hit record. Not what can give me a hit record. Give me some ideas, because you're going to have to be the one still at the end of all of this to make sense of it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yep. Wow, that's amazing. So, Duan, what I hear you saying is that you bring a host of background in music, all genres, it sounds like, and a large tool set of capabilities and skills that you can help someone develop the right prompts to become more independent in being able to produce their music. And that will help them reduce their studio time. And when I look at, you said 5 weeks down to 30 seconds, I'm like, oh my gosh, what?
Yes.
That is a huge savings. And then all the different roles that are part of the producing, that you don't need all those roles to do that for the studio support. So you have a package that you can help people learn to be more independent in being able to produce their own music. And that's all the way from writing the lyrics to taking the music that might not be great and make it better, right? But requiring that human in the loop. So you can help train that human to be able to execute that themselves. And you can probably do even more than that after they've done that. What's that next level? Okay, Duan, I produced it, I got it. What do I do now? Because you probably have a lot of contacts out there to help them get it out there. Because I remember, I don't forget this, that you talked about you were on 30 plus radio stations. You got a lot of connections to get some music out, right? So I see why people need to connect with you. So did I kind of sum that up pretty much?
You did.
Okay.
And see, and I'm gonna add this to it as well. So the biggest piece of it is the part where the workload. I think a lot of people get that part confused sometimes, because you can really take a workload off of yourself if you know what you're doing. As you said, the human in the loop part of it, if you don't have that part, you're still gonna have a heavy load to carry, because in a sense of like Courtney said, it could tell you the truth about yourself. So I give you a short, quick one. Like I said, uh, is this a hit record or not? It can literally tell you yes or no in a sense of what
Wow.
you feel of the case of, because sometimes you can tell your sense of urgency due to words. And as Courtney said, like once you're talking to it, it recognizes things that you would say and things that you may not say.
Mhm.
Or if you're trying to create some fabricated type of situation, the fabrication can only go but so far. Like
Right.
even in the normal chat GPT or
Right.
Gemini world,
Right.
if you give it too much, you're going to confuse it. It's the same way in music. You cannot force it. There is no way to force a hit song. Even like you said, down to the details of like even after, right? So say I have a song, right? I'm ready to go give it to the next person or the next level. Literally, AI can tell you exactly where to take your music
Wow.
or your content that you
Wow.
have. It gives you ideas and places where you can place it so it can make sense to a demographic versus it just
Right.
being the situation. Because a lot of people don't know where to take their music to.
Right. Right.
Once they're finished, you have a complete project. Like my friends always say, man, it's just sitting on your hard drive. So
Wow.
if it's just sitting on your hard drive, you literally have a way now to bring your music life. Like
Wow.
literally. So
Wow.
even if it's like a song you had from maybe 10, 15 years ago,
Right.
you can make endless possibilities just from that one idea.
Wow.
So it's just
Wow.
it's deeper than just saying
Yeah.
just the creation part. It could be something that you want to finish, and it could have been something
Wow.
that you wanted to finish for years. So
Wow.
those
That's amazing.
ideas,
Yeah.
it's endless. Like you said, the part where people are getting away from studios now. That this is one of the biggest reasons why studios aren't as big as they used to be, because you literally have the genius minds that literally can use their minds to bring a song to life. Or
Wow.
just say an idea, just to
Right.
bring an idea to life. They just know what to do,
Right.
know how to communicate with AI, to the point where some people were confused, like, okay, how did they get that good of response from AI? They took the
Right.
time to learn and teach it.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
if you're not, you still have to learn and take in those values as you're growing and getting older. You still got to learn. You just taking the AI parts, and this is with music. You're taking those parts that you don't know about with music, and you can literally grow from that point, just
Wow.
by adding AI to it.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So one last
No,
thing I wanted to
no.
mention and ask you about. So
Mhm,
it sounds like your audience could be larger than just someone who wants to create. Someone has a song that's been sitting there forever, right?
mhm,
And they're like going, "Hey, I think I want to bring this music back to life. I
mhm,
could connect with Duan." Because I'll tell you, I hear so many people say, I just need to get into the studio with Duan. I just need to hook up with Duan. They know that when they get with you, you're a musical genius. And that, I mean, I can even speak for my husband whenever he drove over to your studio.
uh-huh.
And when he
Yeah.
came home, he was singing and whistling because he came back with some amazing music as a trombone player. My husband, J.
Mhm,
Scott Lee, will be a trombone player with the jazz band at the
yeah.
event Saturday. I got to do a plug for him.
Yeah.
But he spent some time with you in your studio, and people
Mhm,
come out of there with the magic that you do to it to bring it to life more than they could
mhm,
have ever expected. So you're going to be an amazing consultant, especially in this music space, because you bring a whole lifetime of experience and skills that you can help people become stronger in it, that they can become more independent, and they can go
mhm,
to the next level, right? It's
mhm,
people's
mhm,
life, things people have passion about, things people take seriously. I don't think anyone could take it more serious than you do, because that's who you are. When I think of Dewan, I think of music, and I think of what do you have, because you have this genius mind, and you think I can do this with it or that with it. And I'm not even talking about how great you play the keys. People don't know how well you can play the keyboard, piano. I mean, anything. I mean, you have the skills, and I already mentioned the drums. It's just
uh-huh.
insane what a genius you are when it comes to music. So I want to say personally that I'm so excited to have you as part of the team for the AI Career Pivot Group, that you can bring your expertise. And like I say, you got the magic. It's all about the magic of how you can take just a whole generation, I'm believing, of people who have been sitting stalled and have been frustrated and haven't been able to move forward, that you have the magic to help them get that music moving to the next level. So they need to connect with you. They need to come to the event, because just a little teaser, Duan's going to have some music flowing during his presentation.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to show you real time the magic.
Mm-hmm.
So people need to come to this event on Saturday,
Gotta get there.
just
Y'all
to
gotta
see
get
this
there.
genius in action. So I'm
Y'all
excited,
gotta
Duan.
get
I'm excited.
there. Y'all gotta get there. Y'all have to get there. Like, there's literally a world of things that can be shown.
Absolutely.
Due to the nature of the connection of people that are within this group. It's totally what was needed. Connecting with people is what I've always pushed for people to do, that are in or that follow the Not Just Music podcast community. Um, Gaining things that are helping the next generation is very important,
Right.
and grasping a hold to it, in the manner of the way this group is doing it, was spot on point. So I want to thank Auntie for always pulling me in
Always
to
will.
the stuff that always grows, is always moving, is something that's always big. And I really appreciate it. Courtney, one more thing before you go.
Sure.
I always like for people to give a short pivot story, but at the same time, something motivational. Because I really appreciate your grandness to something that's new, that a lot of people don't get to hear it in a personalized way.
Right.
They just, and I asked Aunt Ken, people get kind of weary when you say AI, kind of like, I don't know about AI, but in a sense of, to hear people that's taking it in a positive way, and it's changing the way that their workflow, changing. I mean, there's a lot of things that it can change, but in a sense of, what's your inspiration that you could give the people in the end of all of this? More than it could be bigger than AI. It's not just about AI, it's about the person as well.
So that is a great question, and something, my personal story, and why I feel I am among those that our team is looking to serve, is because when I decided to sit back and ask my bestie, my AI chat, how could I possibly take the skills that I've acquired over 10 plus decades of corporate social services, working with human beings and children, adults and children. How can I transfer those skills into how I want to approach pet care? And so completely, for anyone out there who is at a place where you're looking to pivot and your heart is telling you to completely go in a completely opposite direction than anything you've ever tried, I am the person. It's you and I, we're twins. Okay. When I say that there is nothing, like, I like to say not even apples and oranges, but apples and chocolate, social work, boutique pet care. They just, and so for me, asking the question, starting with, what skills do I possibly have working with children and families that can translate into pet care? And, my bestie said, okay, Courtney, same framework, different species. So let's talk about it. And what it gave me was the same assessments, behavior assessments that I would do, case plans that I would work on with the parents, sitting with my families and talking my parents through the importance of being present in your child's classroom, learning what the teacher is working on with your child, any individualized support that the classroom is providing your child, and bringing that into the home as well, right? All of that contributes to a child's positive development and experience. All of those same things I do in pet care. And so once it started giving me all of this, okay, Courtney, you love people, you love working with parents, you love working with kids, you can do kids and canine. Like, it started giving me all kinds of things that I want to educate my pet parents on. So learning about dog, I can go on and on, so I'll just make this brief. But learning about dog behavior and dog psychology is something that a lot of people don't think much about. You don't give dogs that much credit to really take the time to learn what their experience is in a human world. Well, one of the things that's important to me is helping pet parents and families become their dog's number one advocate. I did that for my human families. It's just crazy how things just in pet care, it just came together. And I would not have been able to make that connection without my knowledge base, but also AI pointing out, did you know you're already doing this? Did you realize you're already doing that? Why don't you just mesh it, put it together and turn it into monetize it? That's my story. I really just want anyone listening to the sound of my voice, definitely come see me at the conference and we can talk one-on-one. I have more gold for you, but if this is the last time you're going to hear anything about AI, because you may not quite be ready yet, I would definitely just encourage you to take some time, find a tool you're comfortable with, just start building a relationship with it, building up that comfort level. And then, heaven forbid, you should have a couple of goals or dreams that you want to share in, and let it just give you gold.
All right, everybody, we appreciate y'all for stopping by as always. Not Just Music Podcast family. I love y'all. Remember, always, if you need help, we pushed and introduced so much. You've heard the word help.
Yes.
If you need some help, always remember to ask for help. Don't be scared to ask for help. Learn from it. Don't ever abuse the help. Always learn from it, absorb it, and move on, grow from that. Autism community, disabilities community, I love y'all. Remember to keep y'all lifted. And at the end, remember to keep God first, y'all. Remember that part. All right. Until next time, Not Just Music Podcast. I love y'all. Peace.